Hi guys, welcome back to CMD and another video. You join me back at hothatches.co.uk. Chris and the team have kindly invited me down to film this Mini John Cooper Works GP3. This one, number 2821, is a car that Chris has previously supplied to a customer over a year ago. Now, when Chris originally spoke to me about filming this car, I'm going to put my cards on the table and tell you I wasn't interested. However, this one is a little bit different. You might have noticed from the thumbnail or some of the external shots that the car is lowered. It is sitting on Lohens KW coilovers. So obviously that's lowered the ride ever so slightly, but has that given it a more compliant ride and feel? I'm here to find out. If you're new to CMD and you haven't seen one of our videos before, we have been set up as a YouTube channel with a difference. All of the revenue that we generate from videos like this one, sponsored by hothatches.co.uk today, all goes into a designated bank account. All of those funds, without exception, are being donated to local and national charities around the UK. So if you like what you see, hit that like button, give us a subscribe, and let's get in this thing and go for a drive. Right. Back out in a Mini GP3. Very briefly, let's just discuss these cars. Immediately a very special thing to behold, especially in hot hatch world. What you get is the model designation. This is number 2821. It says on the carbon fibre canards taken off a BMW i8. I've got it on my dash right in front of me. And with this over the traditional Cooper S works. Externally, the carbon fibre canards, you can't miss them. Essentially a cost-saving exercise by Mini in that they've got a wider body but didn't make the body wider. They added the carbon fibre onto the sides and gave that a bit of aerodynamic quality. A spoiler off the back, and actually in the flesh I really quite like it. Inside, very traditional BMW Mini affair, very high quality. Everything you touch is very nicely made. The steering wheel, the seating position, the seats have got an awful lot of adjustment in them. Height, rake, number, I can go up quite a lot. I'm as low down as I can go. I think I am, yeah. But I can go pretty much up to the roof if I want to. I've got traditional BMW nav systems, etc., albeit faced up for a Mini, and all the mod cons that you might expect, from heated seats to automatic air conditioning. But if you're looking at one of these cars, whilst that matters, it's not the be all and end all. You really want to know how it drives. Power delivery, there's plenty of it. Okay, interesting. I think what initially grabs you when you drive one of these from a John Cooper Works is just how much more focused the front end feels, and the ride gives the car more purpose and direction. It feels very focused and very, very capable, which is what you buy a car like this for, isn't it? Opportunity to go, we shall go. You get a bit of torques here, standard Mini affair, and the front end demands your attention even on a relatively smooth British B road. But it's great from a sort of, you have to grab it by the scruff of the neck. Really try to hold on to it. The gearing's actually quite engaging, so it'll rev up to 6,000. You've got electronic dials in this, obviously a little step away from the analog of old. In here you get these metallic flappy paddles, add a bit of additional sort of special feel to them. I really like those actually, they're quite nice. Down here. Second, great pull into the six. You've just got to keep an eye on those revs. The engine feels like it could rev out for longer. Obviously it's designed a certain way, and that's the way it is. And again, it makes it a bit of a more engaging blaster. You've got to keep an eye on your revs. It's a bit like a smart roadster or a Fiat Abarth in that respect. You know, you've got to keep your eye on what's going on and plan your approach a little bit better to put it on a really nasty road. See how these coilovers respond. Oh, they're gripping nicely actually. The coilovers, considering they're on the hardest setting and I am on the worst road that I know around these parts, I think if anything the ride is better, and this is on the hardest setting, so the ride is better than they come stock, and this is on the firmest. But the major difference for me is the grip. The grip is just massively improved. Yeah, okay, I've got to grips with the gears now. You've just got to know what they're like. These are the sort of roads that you want to be on in this car.
3 counties radio, let's get the travel news.
Yeah, it goes, lovely. It's mightily quick, you would expect that, wouldn't you? From the high end. The pinnacle of the Mini. But it delivers it. In spades, it's mightily fast. Brakes well, brakes very well actually, very sure-footed, and if anything, again, it just shows you this car is meant to be tracked. If I had one of these, the first port of call would be a good track. Go, 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 up. Yeah, very nice. I'm actually lost.
Don't worry.
We go this way. Oh, yeah, it hooks up so much better than the stock car. This is comfortably one of the tightest feeling cars I've ever driven, and that's everything from cabin, haptics, what you touch, screens, dials, controls, to ride. And whilst the ride remains firm, so much better than stock on these coilovers. Really impressed. Was prepared not to be. You get lots of creature comforts. You can pop it into normal mode, into auto, cruise along, steady armrest, nice place to sit. Or you can pop it into sport, blip it down a gear, and grab it by the scruff of its neck. And make no bones about it. Oh yeah. It wants you to do the second. So how do you summarise from stock a very, very capable hot hatch, just quite simply not built for British B roads, which for me is where these cars should come alive. If you're going to take it to a track from stock, you've got a great all-rounder. It'll get you there, not in necessarily great comfort, but come track time it'll do very, very nicely. However, this one, on this suspension, is definitely more capable and more suited to a British B road, but then feels as though it hasn't lost any of its performance. If anything, it's definitely gained an element of traction that it didn't have before. This one, on that KW system, I can see why a lot of people go for it now, because initially I thought coilovers would be a bit of a game changer and make it worse, but they really, really haven't. So I'm actually quite impressed. Guys, that's it from me and this Mini GP3. Huge thank you, as always, to Chris and hothatches.co.uk. If you haven't seen them before, you can look them up on social media, but also on the internet. They stock, as always, high-end, good quality, specialist hot hatches. It's what they do well. This one is a prime example of that. 1,505 miles. The previous owner had this car for a year and did 150 miles in it and fit some really nice suspension to it in the meantime, and it's now back with Chris for sale again. And to you guys for tuning in. Without you, as mentioned in the introduction, we don't generate ad revenue, I don't get asked to make more videos, and we don't give those funds to good causes. Cows. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Cheers.